Previously to start, I would like to express my gratitude for accessing this presentation. And also I would like to know that I'm representing a researcher of a very long names group. But in this occasion, it's a very and multidisciplinary team on which I'm doing the remote sensing approach to this historical period, which is history, modern history. No? As you may know, I'm from Spain, of course, but my research area is located south of the Iberian Peninsula, concretely in the province of Jaén, and more specifically studying the Sierra Morena region, which is spanned all along the north of the Andalusia region. But more concretely, I'm going to focus on this region, this concrete point here, because it's an area where Charles III create a new populations. This area were unpopulated till the moment, and Charles III thought that was very important to take into consideration or to create population and new communication route. Due to this is the area, the main access area to the south of the Iberian Peninsula. So the main aim to this new population was to populate and create new communication routes. This process has been studied in an ongoing project which is called ProSiMo, and which is the base of the several projects that I'm going to explain here, and with which I want to express or to demonstrate the combination of aerial archaeology, remote sensing in modern history times. The ProSiMo project, as I said, it is focused on the study of this process of new population, but in a comparative manner. And the first one, taking into account the Baubans, fortified cities, also the repopulation of Algeciras, which is Algeciras, it is located here in this point, here in Spain. Also, with new population in Mediterranean minor island since the very beginning of the 17th century, and also the translation of new population after Calabria Messina earthquake at the end of the 18th century. This, the approach to carry out this research is not just only taking into account the test, the writing test, or the archive. In fact, it's a very inter and multidisciplinary methodology. As you can see here, the aerial and field archaeology is very present in all the development of the project. Here we use satellite imagery, multispectral one. In this case, I want to mark that multispectral imagery. I named that like that because I use a multispectral camera over a drone. So also LiDAR data, drone-made orthophotography, historical orthophotography also, and archaeological prospection. Everything combined into a GIS environment and with the creation of a 3D visualization. And of course, the writing test and historical cartography that made the base, the historical context of the data that we are going to provide. Well, regarding this inter and multidisciplinary project, there are several projects, new projects. Some of them are ongoing projects, and others don't. The first one, this digital application for smart tourism. It's an application that we are going to see in the next slides. Also, the Forgotten Village, Lost Memories, Rescue, Enhancement, and the New Settlement in Sierra Morena. This is a local call. And well, remote sensing applied virtual and artificial intelligence and virtual reality applied to archaeological, to demographic, etc., etc. Well, the first project on which you can see an application, a transfer of the knowledge obtained in ProSiMo 1 is this one. It's an APP for mobile devices, tablet or mobile phone, on which we tend to include, to focus on an inclusive manner, taking into consideration the persons with cannot see or cannot hear perfectly or have any problem to walk. In this case, as I said, we will use the information or the data obtained from ProSiMo project, and also we combine with aerial photography, orthophotography made by drones, thanks to the possibility to clearly or to obtain a very high detail of the archaeological remains. Also, 3D models done during the development of the project. No? Also, in this case, as we are trying to recuperate ancient communication road, not from different that between different population areas, we decide to use the most common use least cost path, but taking into account the calorie expenditure, the minimum calorie expenditure. In this case, this is the dam generate in order to calculate the route. This have a sense because we use this the proposed route by the software in order to, one, focus our research in a concrete area to try to identify the ancient roads, and also thinking in the possible theories that could make the route. So in the way to optimize the routes. No? Here, of course, this APP will be very important because then will be the base on which other project will include the provided information. Regarding with the methodology, in this case, we did we analyzed satellite imagery, concretely analyzed the NDVI index in order to focus to try to identify a new ancient trace. As you can see here, I don't know here, I don't know if you see this line and this one. These are the rest of ancient roads. This purple one is those provided by this software. So we have to just simply focus around this line. And we think that these evidence are evidence of road, but we must go to the field and to contrast this information. Also, LiDAR data, this is a very important complement in this case. Also here you can see the proposed route by the GIS software and the elements identified near from this road. Also, is historical photography. At mid-19th in Spain, there were made an American flight, CGB, and it's provided a very high detail information over the area. And lastly, as I said, archaeological prospection. Also, this actually at the moment this APP is under embargo because we are working on it. But as you can see, the combination of the different elements of each techniques allow us to have a very clear comprehension about a modern history period, about a history or a period that normally doesn't use these techniques. Well, regarding this project, Forgotten Village, Lost Memory, Rescue and Enhancement of the New Settlement in Sierra Morena, it's an ongoing project. And this is one of the, I say most of the classical ones. We use the text, the written text and cartography, but also what we want to do with this is a population from the end of the 18th century also. But we try to rescue and enhancement this area. As you can see, you cannot see anything, no? But we propose here also an inter and multidisciplinary approach, as you can see. Here, of course, LiDAR data, in this case, provide a very interesting information just simply with the first analysis. Also, we combine with multispectral imagery, Sentinel-82, historical imagery, archaeological prospection, and geophysics. In this case, what we want to do also is, during the archaeological prospection, to clearly to pinpoint each archaeological remains, each pottery shells, metals, and things like that, because what we want is to locate and to relate each archaeological object with the possible structures that we could identify on this. The main aim to that also to Turing's APP and Turing's application. Well, remote sensing and artificial intelligence and virtual reality applied to demographic pattern and landscape. It's a project from the Spanish National Call. And the idea, as you can see here, is the identification and description of remote sensing characteristics of already known and newly discovered archaeological sites. What we want to do is to extract the spectral signature of archaeological sites and then to try to identify this signature over the territory. No? To do that, we will do a comparative study between Sierra Morena and Reggio Calabria, because Reggio Calabria at the end of the 18th century, with the aforementioned earthquakes, a lot of population must be changed and must be translated to other areas. No? So the idea is the foundation of new population on this area. So we want to compare these both areas, but this is not the unique objective. The formulation through application of cutting-edge holistic approach of thematic cartography of the Sierra Morena and Reggio Calabria region that will shed light on spatial distribution patterns, helping, especially the majority of the project that we have here is just not only for historical purpose, but also for conservation and to aim to foster conservation policies with local administrations. No? So also we want, or we would like to promote increasing tourism, business and employment throughout both regions. So the idea to break frontiers between science and citizens. Well, and regarding the methodology, this is a very complex one. Here, as you can see, the base, of course, the text, historical text, and cartography, historical cartography, and with some drone-made photography to create a historical context, to see concretely where we are. Then the work packet is specifically designed to extract the information from remote sensing data using SAR, LiDAR, aerial photography, and then also sedimentology. The idea is to combine all this information into a JIT software that will allow to clearly define the spectral signature and also by applying artificial intelligence to analyze the complete territory and the communication route between each archaeological site. After that, we try to make a virtual reconstruction of the area with all the data obtained. Well, the last one, this is the most strange project that I say is a Spanish call, which is focused on ecological and digital transition calls. So I think that I must explain a little bit the call because it is very, very strange and initially doesn't have nothing to do with history, unless with modern history. Well, the idea is to promote research activities aimed at ecological transition and digital transition. Also, applies to productive activities, the protection of natural resources and the quality of the life for individuals and societies as a whole. Project will be oriented toward generating scientific knowledge, developing technology or supporting policies in areas such as urban agenda and education, agriculture and tourism. Also, supporting policies that are terms that I talked previously. And the digital transition will provide significant support for the ecological transition, must be inclusive, sustainable, promoting territorial and social cohesion. Those are all terms that I talked before. What we thought when we read this presentation, this call, we thought, well, we can use the cultural heritage, in this case, modern cultural heritage, to analyze how climate is affecting the conservation and how we can propose measures to palliate this problem, this climate problem around an archaeological site. Also, we can promote tourism, but a sustainable tourism, like the creation of a digital model by including them into the previous app that I said before. No, those are the objectives that I'm going to pass very briefly, and this also the methodology. In this case, also as you can see, we will analyze existing archaeological data, as LiDAR 1, SAR data, public aerial orthophotography. The idea is to create a thematic cartography of the archaeological site in an area and then relate this archaeological site with climate condition. Then the idea is to create a fieldwork on which other kind of researchers, such as restorers, geologists, topographers, something like that, work together to document the presence of the illness inside the archaeological remains, in this case, modern history ones. So the idea at the end is the creation of an HBIM and historical building information modeling that will allow to document the history of this archaeological site, the illness, and the proposed solution for that. At the end, we will have a complete catalog to provide information to administration, to conservation, to train conservation policies and future research campaigns. Well, this project also allows us to create a very interesting tools for diffusion. This just simply with the creation of a 3D model for analyze the illness, we can make a video, a very impressive video that for people is very interesting, no? Because the majority of people would like to see nice images, no? And then this last one, another project on which you can record, you can take advantage of this methodology for diffusion. Well, that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.